Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today we are back with another installment of my favorite finishes series. Today I'm going to be going over my favorite glitter nail polishes. So a couple of weeks ago I did share my favorite reflective glitters, but this video is dedicated to the more traditional glitter mix type of finish, where the majority of these are like hex glitters, but there might be some other kinds of shapes in there. And the majority of these are like glitter polishes, but I do have a section later in the video specifically for my favorite glitter toppers. Unfortunately, because a lot of these are from my collection that I've had for years and years, they just aren't around anymore. So as always, I will have a little coffin emoji next to those polishes. Hopefully you don't mind that a couple of these are like retired shades, but they're still favorites from my collection and I really wanted to share them. So without further ado, let me show you my favorite glitters. So starting with a couple of my favorite Mooncat glitters, the first one I have is I'm a Mother Effin' Supernova, and this is a gold micro glitter polish. I feel like I've shared this a couple of times on my channel already, and there's not much to really say about it. It just is my favorite gold glitter. I really love this, especially for the holiday season, but anytime I want a gold glittery nail, this is my go-to shade. It definitely is a dense glitter mix, so I only need 2 coats to get it pretty much fully opaque, but I also really love how it looks on one coat. It's a little bit dainty, and I just especially love the shade of gold that it is. It just feels so flattering to me. Next, I have Serpent's Tongue, and this is from the Medusa Unleashed collection from last year. And this is kind of like a warm lavender sort of color. It's kind of like a medium purple, but there is a little bit of a pink undertone to it. It's really, really pretty and flattering, but I think the standout in this one is that green shimmer. If you've watched my videos before, you know I love a good green shimmer, and this one is just so vibrant and it stands out so nicely against this base. These just have such nice and easy to work with formulas that are fully opaque for me in 2 coats, but again, I just really love how these look in 1 coat as well. It just gives it a little bit of an ethereal look. Then from the same collection, I have Sealed with a Hiss, and this one is a slightly darker, more blue-leaning glitter mix with a vibrant blue shimmer, and I just could not choose between the purples. I'm pretty sure when this collection first launched, this one was my top favorite because I very much was only into blue leaning purples. I never really liked the red or pink leaning ones, but they really have grown on me over the last year. And so I really started to appreciate Serpent's Tongue a little bit more, but I still have a soft spot for Sealed with a Hiss. It is just so beautiful and eye-catching. This one, for whatever reason, was a little bit sheer for me, so I did end up needing 3 coats for full coverage, but I'm not too mad at it. And lastly, from that collection, I have Snake Charmer, and this is basically a teal micro glitter with a beautiful golden shimmer. This one was definitely another favorite when the set first launched. I just was so captivated by this color. I'm such a huge fan of these like dark teals, especially with this golden kind of shimmer in there. It is just super gorgeous, and I feel like almost kind of gives me like mermaid vibes. I'm not sure if that's really accurate for this kind of color, but I can see it. It's stunning either way, and it builds up really nicely in just 2 coats. Next, I have Superclusterfck, and this one unfortunately was retired, I believe earlier this year. I honestly still can't believe it was retired because it is such a beautiful, dark, evergreen micro glitter. Or I guess to be more specific, the base color is that dark green, but the micro glitters themselves are actually gold. So they have such a beautiful contrast to this base, and it makes it the perfect winter holiday green for me. So I am really sad that this one isn't around because it's one that I would just highly recommend, especially for this time of year. I would maybe even go as far as saying it's worth getting if you see it in a D-stash. Obviously not if it's super marked up, but yeah, this one is super beautiful. Another retired glitter I just have to include from Mooncat is Kiss My Asteroid, and this is from that same collection as Superclusterfck and I'm a Mother Effin' Supernova. I think it was called the Toxic Stardust collection. It was so fun. I think it was 5 micro glitters in total and in these gorgeous colors, and I'm honestly still salty that they retired 2 of the most beautiful ones. This one is like a dark, almost denim blue. I feel like there is a little bit of dustiness to it where it's not maybe a navy, maybe it's the silver micro glitters that kind of lighten it up a bit, but either way, this is another absolutely stunning shade that is super unique to my collection. Moving on to Holo Taco micro glitters, this first one is Midnight Owl from the pretty recent After Party collection. This one is a super alluring indigo jelly base that is packed with these micro glitters and iridescent glitters as well. It is just such a beautiful shade. I immediately loved it as soon as I saw it. I just love these really dark shades, especially for winter, so I would highly recommend this one if you haven't already grabbed it. It has a really nice smooth formula that's easy to work with and apply and is fully opaque in 2 coats because of how dark it is. Unfortunately, these next 2 have been retired recently. The first one is Naughty List, and it is just the perfect holiday red micro glitter. Such a shame to see this one go because it really is just the perfect red glitter for the holiday season. It had a really nice formula that was super pigmented on the first coat and again is just another 2-coater for me. I love the varying sizes of glitters in the Holo Taco micro glitters. This one is just so sparkly, so pretty. And the next one is none other than Plum Luck. This one was definitely my top favorite, I guess, if I had to really narrow it down, because this is the one that I grabbed a backup bottle for. Realistically, am I ever even going to use that second bottle? Maybe not, but I just didn't want to take the risk and find out years from now. I am just such a fan of any kind of dark plummy purple. I know I mentioned before I wasn't really a fan of any red leaning purples or pink leaning ones, but that was more so for the lighter shades. I always was so gravitated towards the darker ones. I don't know what it is about these colors that just are so seductive to me. This was easily a must-have. But back to some glitters that are available from Holo Taco. Another absolute favorite is Play Rosé. This was one of my very first ones, as you can probably tell by the fill line, and this is described as a rose gold micro glitter. It has a little bit of an almost peachy kind of color to it, so I know for some people they might not love this as a rose gold, but I definitely do. I think it's just really pretty and flattering. I especially love the golden glitters in this one and how they just sparkle against the base color. It is just so warm and kind of reminds me of like cider, so I really love this for the New Year's. Another must-have for me is the OG Menchie the cat, and this is an icy baby pink micro glitter. I absolutely adore this one. It is just so dainty and pretty, especially on one coat. I would probably layer this over like a sheer pink instead of my bare nail, but I just love the look of this dainty kind of scattered glitter. You get that rainbow twinkle, but there is just this wash of icy pink color to it that gets more noticeable with the more coats that you do, obviously. And I'm such a fan of it. And I normally am not a fan of cool toned pinks, which Holo Taco is pretty famous for. They only recently started to branch out into warmer pinks, but I'm definitely more forgiving of this micro glitter formula because it is just so magical. It really makes me feel like a princess. And the last of the Holo Taco glitters I have is Frostlight, and this is an icy blue jelly base that has these silver micro glitters, and it is just so perfect, especially for the winter season. I shared it as one of my winter favorites last year, but obviously I still love it this year too. This one is really sheer and definitely requires 3 coats for full opacity, but I still would get some bald spots, so I would almost even recommend sponging on the second coat if you really want the maximum glitter payoff. But I do love building this up on its own just to get more of that squishy blue base. It is just such a pretty color. It just makes those glitters look like they're floating in ice or something. Obviously, you get all the Frozen Ice Queen vibes with this color. It is just so stunning and makes me like romanticize winter, and I normally don't love this season, but if I can wear this shade, then I'm happy. Next, I have a couple of painted polishes, and the first one is On Cloud Wine, which actually launched at the very beginning of this year. It feels like so long ago, but also like just yesterday, because I remember when this first came out, I just could not wait until fall so I could wear this. It was when I most recently shared it as part of my fall favorites, but it is this super rich and dark plummy wine purple base with this micro glitter formula. I just really love the painted polish micro glitter formula because it's so smooth and so sparkly. And obviously I'm a huge fan of this vampy color. An older painted polish glitter I have is Candy Crushed, and this is a metallic and holographic rose gold and gold micro glitter mix in a clear base. I don't know what it is about combining gold with rose gold that just makes me salivate. I just think it is so pretty, so dainty and feminine and romantic. I'm just such a sucker for this combination. So yeah, this one is really pretty either in 1, 2, or 3 coats. I love how blingy it is when it is fully opaque. It also looks great as a glitter gradient, but I normally wear this as like a topper over a sheer white kind of color like Zoya's Adele. It is just so soft. And an even older painted polish that I have is Campfire Cozy, and this one is, I don't even know how many years old, but it is this really beautiful gold, copper, and red micro glitter mix. So it really has this beautiful, fiery, warm feeling to it. I especially love this in the fall layered over a cozy brown shade. It's just the perfect fireplace kind of vibe. Next, I have a couple of Cupcake polishes, and the first one is Wish, which is this absolutely perfect pink micro glitter. Well, again, I'm not sure if the glitters themselves are actually pink. The base for sure is. I think the glitters might be like just silver, but it obviously has a very pink color overall. And I forgot how much I adore these Cupcake polish micro glitters. They are just so pretty, super pigmented, so you can definitely build them up easily in just 2 coats. I also really love the slightly jelly formula because it just makes it so easy to use in nail art, like for lazy gradients with other colors or just regular gradient tips. But more than anything, I am obsessed with this color, and it is a shame that I forgot to include this in my favorite pinks. This next one should be no surprise if you watched my winter favorites video recently. This is Believe, and it's from the same collection, but this is the purple version, and I just absolutely have been loving this shade for winter. I know winter only just started, but I'm just very excited about this color. I'm really craving a lot of icy purples this season, so this color is perfect, and again, I just love this micro glitter formula because it is just super prismatic and holographic and sparkly. Just everything that I need, especially to carry me through the gloomy winter days. I need the sun to hit this and give me a serotonin boost. Then I also have Magic, which is the lime green from that same collection. That whole collection was honestly super gorgeous. The only two that I didn't include were the icy aqua blue and then this teal one. And honestly, I just didn't include them for the sake of time. But again, I would highly recommend checking out the Mega Glitters line from Cupcake Polish because that's where these three are from. They're just super stunning and there's a lot of colors. So I imagine the other ones are just as flawless and gorgeous as these. Next, I have a couple of KBShimmers. This first one is a Raisin to Live, and this is a deep raisin jelly base with these silver micro glitters in some varying sizes, but they're relatively on the medium to small size. And there's also like a dainty kind of hollow sparkle in there as well. No surprise, I am a huge fan of this color. I just absolutely love it so much, and especially with this like jelly formula, it is so squishy and juicy. It just does something to me. I don't know if that's appropriate to say, especially about nail polish, but it's just one of those shades, you know? Next up is one of the newest glitters added to my collection. This is KBShimmer's Hexy Bikini, and this is a combination of silver, pink, and aqua or teal metallic holographic glitters in a clear base. I just absolutely love this color combination. I really love the pops of teal and pink against the silver and just the rainbows in general. It is just so pretty to me. I also really love the formula and coverage for this one. As you saw on the first coat, it is pretty dense, but you do still see some of your nail underneath, so you can definitely wear it in one coat if you want that kind of less blingy and sparkly nail look, but you can also just build this up in two coats, and it's pretty much fully opaque, which I was surprised by. I thought I would have needed a third. So yeah, I just love this one so much. Another shade I recently shared in my winter favorites is OPI's Ce-less-tial is More, and this is an oldie but goodie for my collection. Even if the formula doesn't totally look like it, I feel like this is almost a borderline sibling polish, at least regarding the formula, to Pineapples Have Peelings Too, where it's kind of like this metallic base that also has this glitter mixed in, so it kind of gives it like this gritty texture, but I would argue this one is a lot prettier. The slight texture doesn't bother me too much. I just am so obsessed with the color of this one. It's so flattering. Another absolute favorite oldie but goodie from my collection is China Glaze's 50 Glimmering Years, which I think came out in collaboration with Sesame Street for their 50-year anniversary. This was obviously a couple years ago, but this is like a rose gold micro glitter, and it is one of my favorite rose gold polishes, obviously one of my favorite glitter polishes. I just really love these like super fine, almost like sandy micro glitter formulas. It just has this dainty glittery sparkle that is so pretty on its own or as a glitter gradient. Next, I have Different Dimensions Moonbeam, and this is another oldie for my collection that I am kind of sad that I don't have a backup bottle of. I think back then this was described as a rose gold, but obviously this is a much brighter, almost peachy pink leaning color with this beautiful golden shimmer. And you know I love a good gold shimmer, especially if it's in like a pink base. Add to that this gorgeous silver holographic glitter mix in there, and this is just one of my favorite polishes in my entire collection. It is just so beautiful. I love the color and how much it sparkles. It is so eye-catching, and here's a quick comparison to Cirque's Flamingo because that's what I was immediately reminded of. That one is a shimmer graphic, but honestly compared to Moonbeam, it just kind of looks like a shimmer. I would love to know how many of you remember this indie brand called Sincerely Polish. Unfortunately, they aren't around anymore, but they had some really beautiful shades, and my favorites from them were these Disney princess inspired glitters. This first one is Mulan, so it has a lot of pink and magenta glitters. Some of them are iridescent, but most of them are metallic. I know this glitter mix is not going to be for everybody, but I don't know what it is about them. I just think they are so sparkly and almost remind me of jewels. Another one I absolutely loved from this collection was called Ariel, which obviously is inspired by The Little Mermaid. This one had such a fun mix of more translucent glitters that were red and purple and seafoam green. The glitters in this just reminded me of shells, so this one was just so perfect for the summertime. And lastly, I have Elsa, which is this really beautiful icy blue mix of actually a few different shades of blue glitters, and there's also these lavender glitters in here. It is just so pretty, so dainty. Even though these have gotten pretty thick on me and I don't even wear them that often anymore, I just can't bring myself to get rid of them. They are still some of my favorites. And finally, getting into my favorite glitter toppers. This first one you've seen on my channel already. This is Noodles Nail Polish's First Snow, and I recently shared this as one of my winter favorites. It is just the cutest white matte glitter topper that also has these snowflake glitters and smaller iridescent glitters as well. It is just so magical and so much fun. Another one of my favorites is called Snow Kissed, and unfortunately this one isn't around anymore, but it is another super cute wintry glitter topper. This one also does have snowflake glitters. I just had to kind of fish for them, but it is this really pretty mix of a few different shades of blue glitters and purple glitters as well. I'm just such a fan of this color combination for winter. It is just so dainty and pretty, and obviously these are glitter toppers, so I didn't have time to share them over white and black, so I just wanted to share them over my favorite base colors. I especially love this glitter topper over a periwinkle. It is just so pretty. The next Noodles glitter that I have is called Down Under, and this one is more of a micro glitter formula. You can see these glitters are a lot tinier and also a little bit more dense on one coat alone. So I think this one would build up nicely. I just didn't do it that way because I personally love wearing this in one coat, especially over a shade like Zoya's Megan. It just has such a pretty dainty effect, and I love the glitter mix in this one because there's silver, pink, and blues, and I think some purples too. It's just so pretty. Another micro glitter I absolutely love is called Whose Side Are You On? And I especially love this one for the name because I love cider, but this one has a really cute glitter mix that has some gold, orange, magenta glitters. It is just so perfect for fall. I've had this one for a couple of years, but there is one similar in her shop called Fall Babe. Another oldie that I absolutely love is Glitterlam's It's Snowing Cotton Candy, and this is from way back when Glitterlam's used to still create nail polishes. They still are around as a company, but I think they only sell glitter mixes. But this one has this beautiful mixture of iridescent glitters and these matte baby pink star glitters. I just love how magical this polish is. It especially shines over a darker base, so the iridescent glitters glow. This next topper I grabbed from a D-stash several years ago, so I don't even know when it originally released, but this is Bluebird Lacquer's Promises You Don't Intend to Keep, and this is another beautiful mix of iridescent glitters in some different colors and shapes, but mainly hexes. There are some square glitters, which I normally don't like, but I really don't mind them in this one, and my favorite thing is this red micro glitter. I just love this combination, especially over a soft white. It just feels so romantic to me. Another iridescent glitter topper I absolutely adore is Loud Lacquer's Ninnymuggins. This one is pretty much exclusively filled with iridescent glitters in some varying hex shapes and sizes, and I just love how this glows, especially over a dark base. This one is really dense too, so those glitters kind of get layered up, and I just love how you see them kind of layered over each other. Like they just have this glassy look to them. It's so cool. So you've probably noticed the lack of straight up silver holographic glitters in my collection. For whatever reason, I'm just not super attracted to them. But one that I absolutely love is Orosa Prism. This is just a classic silver holographic hex glitter in some varying sizes in a clear base. And I just have always loved this topper, especially over black. This would be like my New Year's combination. It's just so classic. Speaking of classics, I of course had to give a special shout out to Cirque Colors Crystal Tokyo. This was easily one of like the first glitter mixes I knew was going to be included in this video, but I just wanted to share some oldies for my collection first. But thankfully you can still grab this one. It is an absolutely magical mix of pink, iridescent glitters. Some of them are like translucent and they are just so beautiful. I especially love this one over Lavender Sky. It gives me fairy vibes. And rounding out my favorite glitters is another classic from Cirque. This one is called XX, and I'm pretty sure they named this one after the 20 different glitter types in this polish. I won't be able to name them all, but they are definitely a ton of varying sizes and shapes and colors. The majority of them are holographic, but yeah, this is just such a fun party glitter mix to add over any mani. It looks so great. And finally, we have the collages. So this first one is my golds and rose golds, the pinks and purples, and the only red glitter that I have. Obviously, really love these tones so much. Then this next collage are my greens and blues and then some other purples. So I would say these are more on like the cooler side of the color wheel. And again, I just absolutely adore all of these. And the last collage is for my glitter toppers. So the top row are the more like bigger metallic ones. The middle row has more of the iridescent glitters. And then the bottom row are the more true micro glitters. And again, so hard to pick favorites. Obviously, I just have a type and it's all of them. So that wraps up my favorite glitter nail polishes. So as always, I cannot wait to hear what you think of my picks, especially if we have any in common, or just let me know what you think of glitter polishes, because similar to reflective polishes, I know they can be so finicky to work with. Like they tend to be very goopy, almost even textured sometimes depending on how many glitters there are. But similar to reflective polishes, which I don't think I mentioned in that video, I definitely would not wear either regular glitters or reflective glitters without a peel-off base coat because they are so annoying to take off. And I know that might sound like, well, why would you even want to wear them? But did you see them? They are so pretty and so sparkly. So I'm willing to do the work with applying my peel-off base coat in a way where it can like last a little bit longer than just like the 1 or 2 days. But again, I switch up my nail polish constantly, so I'm not looking or expecting like a week's worth of wear out of these shades. So yeah, you'll have to let me know how you feel about glitter polishes. Are you a little bit more forgiving of the traditional kind of glitter mixes compared to reflective glitters? Or do you just hate them all around because they're just a little too finicky to work with? Let me know what your favorites are down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.